My name is Mike Jones, and I'm a barista at Third Rail Coffee, right by Washington Square Park in New York City. I'm going to teach you some basic coffee making skills. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to make a macchiato. This is one of my favorite espresso drinks, and what it is just a shot of espresso with a little bit of foam on top. In Italian, macchiato means marked, so it's literally just marked with a dollop of foam. However, in North America and in other growing coffee traditions, people have used a little bit more milk, like 1 to 2 ounces, instead of just the traditional dollop of foam on top. So I'm going to show you something that's halfway in between there, which is how I like it. Just a shot of espresso and then maybe an ounce of foamy milk. So I'm going to start off pulling the shot, steaming the milk, and then pouring. Okay, so we have our nice foamy milk and the shot of espresso. Now since this is a small drink, what I like to do is stir the shot a little bit. This way it incorporates all the flavors throughout it, and when you take your first sip, you don't get a bitter first impression. This is also sort of my personal preference for macchiato. Many people won't do that, but I definitely recommend trying it out if you're getting a bitter ring right around the first sip. So then we have our foamy milk. And then you're just going to pour in. It's just going to be about 1.5 ounces. Alright, and that is a macchiato. I'm going to show you how to make a cappuccino. A cappuccino is traditionally between 5 and 6 ounces. You have your shot of espresso, some milk, and then foam on top. Usually it's going to be in thirds, which is 2 ounces of espresso, 2 ounces of milk, 2 ounces of foam, but somewhere around there is good. Officially they say between 1 to 2 centimeters of foam on top, but there are many different interpretations. So I'm going to start off by pulling the shot, steaming the milk, and then pouring. Okay, so we have our espresso, we have our milk. Now since I've let more air into the milk on this cappuccino, you can do a little bit extra texturing, which is just swirling it around. Even give it some side-to-side shakes to incorporate the foam into the center. And sometimes if you've added just a little bit too much, you can pour about 1 ounce off the top. Alright, and then just pour. And that is a delicious looking cappuccino. I'm going to show you how to make a cafe latte. Now, at its most basic interpretation, a latte is just espresso with milk. Traditionally, it will be 8 ounces to 12 ounces. Some shops will go bigger than that, usually not too much smaller than 8 ounces though. You start off with around 2 ounces of espresso, and the rest is milk that is steamed with just a tiny bit of air put into it. You don't want it to be too foamy, and also not too thin. So I'm going to go ahead, pull the shot, steam the milk, and then pour. So we have our shot and the milk, and you can see on the milk it has that nice sheen, good foam or good microfoam, and then when you swirl it you can see it sticks to the side a little bit, but not too much. A cappuccino would be frothier. And that is a cafe latte. Alright, I'm going to show you how to make a cafe mocha. Now all this is basically a latte or a cappuccino with chocolate in it. So you start off with a high quality cocoa, something that's not too sweet is nice, but just a little bit of sugar so that cocoa flavor mixes well with the espresso. In a cafe environment, we would take a lot of this cocoa powder, mix it with hot water, and have syrup pre-made. But as far as just making one drink, it's easy just to start off with the powder and then add a little bit of hot water in there. Alright, and then stir it up to make a syrup. And then I'm actually going to pull the espresso directly over the chocolate, stir it again, and then pour just as with a cappuccino or a latte. So I'm going to get the shot ready and the milk, and then we'll pour. Alright, so we've pulled the shot right over the chocolate. We're just going to incorporate that together. And then again, pour into it the same as with the latte. And we'll do a nice tulip on this one for fun. It's a Caffe Mocha. I'm going to show you how to make an Americano. Americano is a really simple espresso drink. All it is simply a shot of espresso and hot water. There are a few different ways you can go about assembling these two together. You can either just have the shot of espresso and add the hot water over that, which I think is an inferior way of doing it because it will break apart the espresso. What I like to do is just start off with a mug of hot water, pull the espresso, and then just pour it slowly over that. So I'm going to go ahead, pull that shot. So we have our espresso, we have the hot water. Just pour that slowly over there. And easy as that, that's an Americano.